friends, it's Rosalind. Welcome back to our gardens and our tiny flower farm. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to create something so fun together. So the bird bath that you just saw me remove, our honeybees, we have 2 hives of honeybees out back. They come up to the bird bath all the time to gather water for the hive. And I found a couple of them that have drowned in the bird bath. So when Popo Soap Solar offered to send out a water pump to create like a little fountain with, I knew exactly what we're going to make together. So yesterday I stopped at a thrift store and it was the first time I was there. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be returning there quite often. But I picked up this plant stand for only $18. And this cement planter I had picked up at a garage sale this summer for $5. So this is where we're going to be creating our little fountain in. I think this is something that will also be very attractive to the hummingbirds with, like, if we have a little fountain of water. But after we get done with this, we're going to hop over to the patio garden and replace a couple of perennials in there because those perennials look kind of bad. And I want something in there that looks good year round. So the first thing I'm doing, just placing a couple of rocks in here so we have a place where the fountain can sit in, but it won't move around. Now, I have never set up a solar pump like this before, so I guess we're going to figure it out together. All right, I think this goes on top of the pump. Sit it in here. All right, then our little stake for the solar panel. Am I doing it wrong? Oh, there we go. Now, we plug these together. Kind of want to hide the string, but also make sure the solar panel is in the sun. Not sure if we did this right. Guess we'll find out together. The wire is attached to the fountain, and then I ran it around the back of this planter, and then it's attached to the solar panel. Now we're going to add in a few more rocks so the bees have a place to sit on without drowning. And I gathered these rocks from just around our property. We have quite a bit of field stones, especially out in the back part of our property. Oh, get the grass off of there. Why don't we add some water, see if it works. I went inside to get water because our water out here by the hose is like very rusty water. And hopefully this will make so that the pump doesn't get clogged up quite as easily. Do you see that? It's working. So cute. Can you hear the water? I love how this turned out and it sounds so soothing. We're going to keep a sharp eye on it. Hopefully we can capture maybe the honeybees here, and wouldn't it be so fun if we could capture a hummingbird enjoying the water? But I do plan on, like, probably end of October when the weather starts turning very cold, we'll take it apart, we'll use the plant stand somewhere else. I already have ideas for it, as well as the planter. And then next spring and summer we can use the fountain again. This is the spot in the patio garden that I want to remove these perennials from. This is Artemisia, and it looks beautiful in spring with, with the daffodils blooming and this silvery blue foliage. But by this time of year, if it's not cut back, this is what it looks like. But I want something in here that looks good year round. So I did buy 2 heucheras to replace those with. So over here, I have these heucheras, and you can see, like, these look gorgeous. The coral bells start out beautiful in spring and they're beautiful right into fall until the frost takes them. Oftentimes they even look nice in winter. So removing this, replacing them with coral bells. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look so much better already? I'm going to add in a little bit of slow release plant food into the bottom of each planting hole. All right, the first one is Dulce Toffee Tarts, and it grows in part shade to shade. So hopefully this evergreen will kind of shade it. It grows 8 to 10 inches tall and 16 inches wide. So it should just nicely fill in this space. I am a firm believer that you can have a beautiful garden without spending a whole lot of money. Both of these coral bells came out of the clearance section, and you can see they had cut them back, but look at this. There is a whole bunch of new growth coming out. Coffee tart is planted over there, and we have this one planted as well. This one is called Dressed Up Evening Gown, and it can take sun or shade. Grows 12 to 14 inches tall and 20 inches wide, so it should definitely completely fill in that space. After I dug up all of the artemisia, I noticed there was a heuchera underneath the artemisia that was being snuffed out. So we're going to dig this one up and move it right in here where we dug up this artemisia plant. I think this will look so much better to just have a continuance of heucheras all along the edge of this flower bed. And this one will kind of grow up and look like it's holding up that hydrangea. So we have our two newly planted heucheras right along this edge. And then as we come around the curve of this bed, you can see there's just a continuance of heucheras. And I can't wait to see what it'll look like next spring and summer to just have this whole bed edged with heucheras. Since we planted these perennials in early fall, I will definitely come in here, get everything nicely mulched in for winter so we don't have any frost heat. Also, do you notice how the honeybees are all over this bird bath? This is why I wanted to create that little fountain for them. Still have my artemisia to get cleaned away, but this is the time of year. So I'm probably a little fortunate. Our grocery store is like right across the road from the garden center. So this time of year, like when I stop to get groceries, I will also stop at the garden center and just see what they have on clearance or what they have on sale, because just like the artemisia, you might have a plant that you no longer really want to have in the garden. You would love to replace it with something that you really do love. So this is kind of an example. So yesterday when I stopped at the grocery store, I also stopped at the garden center and I picked up a couple of clearance plants to pop into spots where I might have some empty spots in the garden, or a couple of perennials that I just really like, they're not looking good in the garden. So I got those to replace them with, and like they were maybe just a couple dollars a piece. Thank you for joining me around the garden today, friends. I hope it was helpful and inspiring. Have an amazing week in your own gardens, and I will see you right back here next Saturday. Bye.